back. WNST, Towson, Baltimore, and Baltimore Positive. It says so. This is, when I sit on this side of me, the tie is underneath of me right here. Leonard Raskin is here. Tell everybody where we are. I mean, you always wanted to do radio. You did radio in college.
Yeah,
I'm
there
sure.
you go.
So give a little broadcast as to what we're doing here today, as you understand it in Westminster, Maryland.
We are eating crab cakes.
Yes, we are.
We are drinking libations.
Yes, we are.
We are hanging out at Rocksalt Grille.
We're giving away Maryland lottery tickets and the show me's. The last chance on the show me's because the Raven scratch-offs are coming next week.
Oh,
so
there you go.
I'm going to be having those.
There
We'll
we
be in
go.
Costas next week. We're getting toward the end of the Maryland Crab Cake Tour. It is all presented by our friends at Goodwill, as well as our friends at Window Nation and the Maryland Lottery. And the Restaurant Association of Maryland will be well represented today. Marshall Weston's going to be out here. We're Rocksalt Grille.
Yeah.
And the reason we're here is because last year on the tour, I wanted to get here. And I made Monday my Westminster day, and they're closed on Monday, right? So I didn't make it here. I made it to a great crab cake right around the corner. We'll talk about that a little bit, talk about the Westminster business community here on Main Street. But this year, I had put the list together of the places that I regretted not going last year. And everyone in Carroll County, everyone in Westminster, people that have been here, you've been here.
I've been here.
So I have all said, you got to go to Rocksalt Grille, man. And I'm like, and I looked up, like, who's the owner? And it's my buddy Lee. I've known Lee probably 25 years. Lee had a place over at Cranberry Mall. He's going to join us later on. They've already brought us oysters. I mean, the first thing you should know when you come in here is there's a big oyster sign, like right over top of my hand here. And this is a PEI oyster. You've heard my PEI story.
No, I have not.
You heard it over at Nick's, didn't you?
I don't know.
Well,
I don't remember.
I'm going to tell the bartender here my Prince Edward Island story. I'll do that in the last hour.
Sure.
Because there's an anniversary. It was 10 years ago yesterday that I went to Prince Edward
Oh,
Island.
okay.
I'll tell you, short story long, we got to the bridge. The bridge was $44.25.
I do remember this, yes.
And the picture showed up on my Facebook yesterday, and it was the day that we lost Scunny. It was the day we lost Scunny at Nacho Mama's. So much love to everybody, Jackie and everybody out there, commemorating 10 years that we lost him. But it was on that day that I went to Prince Edward Island. We didn't go in. We stopped at the bridge. We watched the movie on how they made this incredible bridge, and then we refused to pay $44 Canadian. I think the exchange rate was only about $1.10 now. It's about $1.30.
Yeah, still.
We'll make it there next week. So I'm slated to be back in Canada a week from today.
Okay.
To see the Pearl Jam.
The Pearl Jam.
The Pearl Jam band.
That's good stuff.
And
I thought you were going to see some conflagration of the Rush.
No. They're getting together with Taylor Hawkins. I had a bad Ticketmaster experience trying to get Taylor Hawkins drop tickets at the LA Forum because Getty and Alex are going to play with them.
Right.
They're going to do that. That's September 27th.
That's good
and
stuff.
If somebody somehow could get me to LA, if I find a ticket, I'll go. If not, I'll watch the DVD.
Right. It'll be out.
It'll be on YouTube.
Immediately.
It'll be
Somebody
live.
will be live streaming it right out.
There's no doubt about it.
It's going to come right out on the net.
So Leonard Raskin manages American Dreams. We're living the American dream of my 26th crab cake today, my 26th brewery today. I'm going over to Pharmacy. Man, I've had some great crab cakes on this
That's
floor.
good.
Better crab cakes this year than last year.
Wow. That's awesome.
I mean, just as a whole.
Yeah.
I've only had the same crab cake twice. I had a Conrad's on day one. I had Suicide Bridge, which pretty good crab cake, Suicide Bridge. And a lot of Republicans, a lot of your people over there, all right? So there's a lot of your folks over there in Hurlock, Maryland, on the Eastern Shore, being very kind to me.
Sure.
Met the owner there. It was just great.
Republicans are all kind.
It's just when they vote.
You just vote different than you.
Yeah, I like.
Did you see there was a recent study? I don't know if you saw this. I just saw it within the last week.
I'm not a Republican. By the way.
No. I know.
This
is my point.
I have vacillated to call myself independent or moderate where the Republicans are, and I'm not a Republican. You know that, but that's
I'm a conservative. A Republican's a Republican.
That's why
I'm a
guys like you and I
conservative.
get along.
Right, but here's the thing. There was a study that just came out in the last week or so, and I won't get the numbers exactly right because, like you, I don't have that photographic memory of these types of things. But the study showed they asked people, college kids, would you? There you go. Would you room with a Republican? And they asked Democrats, would you room with a Republican? Republicans, would you room with a Democrat? Then they asked them if they would date.
How much you have to talk.
Then they would date. They asked, would you date a Republican? And the Republicans, would you date a Democrat? Here's what they found. the number was something like 60 or 70% of Democrats would not room with a Republican. 20% of Republicans said they wouldn't room with a Democrat because we don't care.
That's most.
We don't care. Right. The point is, on the Democrat side, I think 70 or 80% said they wouldn't date a Republican. On the Republican side, it was like 25% said they didn't care.
Dating's different.
Said they didn't care.
I think dating's more.
Yeah, but the fact is, Republicans are more accepting than Democrats, even though the Democrats say they're the party of tolerance.
You say all
they
this.
They only tolerate.
This is like the Family Feud. I want to know who's doing the surveying.
Well, I agree that might make a difference.
I don't believe any of these surveys.
Oh,
I have
come on.
Malia Cromer on, and she gets mad at me because, and she's liberal, right?
Yeah,
Very liberal, right?
Yeah.
She gets mad at me because I have had Arbitron for 31 years say that we've never had a listener. And I'm going to, there's some people in Owings Mills that are going to find out I have listeners really, really soon.
Oh, boy.
A lot of them.
Yeah, there you go.
So there's no doubt about that. So Leonard's here. You drove over. And
I drove over.
I said, dude, you don't have to drive all the way to Westminster. So
no, I said rock salt. I'm coming.
Okay, so you came for the food, the company.
Came for the food, hang out with you for a little while on the air. Talk to our people out here, and we
got friends in Westminster?
Yeah, I got business colleagues out here. We work with a couple accounting firms out here with clients.
Okay, so what you made a day of it?
Yeah, I made a day of it.
Well, what I'm trying to do on the tour is bring people out who are from the neighborhood where I don't have to make them drive.
That's right.
An hour because I figured we find people in Westminster.
This was 35 minutes from me, 40 minutes. It wasn't terrible. And it's
Carroll
a beautiful ride.
County's beautiful.
It's a beautiful
Carroll
ride.
County's beautiful.
I came across the back way. I came across Falls Road and across 88, across the back road. So I didn't even get on 140 or 97. I came across the back road. Just beautiful.
I would tell you I have done far more back roads this tour than last tour.
Yeah.
I did the back roads. I did the prettiest drive I've ever done in Maryland last night. And I was on it, and I'm like, oh, my God, this is beautiful. I went from Friendly Farm. You been to Friendly Farm?
Oh, yeah, sure.
So you've had their crab cake.
I have.
All right. Give me a little
And the Hush Puppy.
Feedback
Hush
on that.
Puppy. How'd you have Hush Puppy?
Oh, no, those are sweet bread. Those are like fried dough, dude.
Beautiful.
They're like little donuts. They're
like
little
What's
munchkin.
better than that? What's
Not much.
better than that?
Honey to dip it in.
It's just fantastic. That's what it's all about.
They brought me all of this food, man, and I went in alone.
Yeah, you can't eat. You can't leave there hungry, or it's shame on you.
Everybody mentioned the fried chicken.
Yep.
And I got the crab. And the crab cake. Susan here from Rocksalt said, "How was the crab cake?" I said, "It wasn't like a crab cake. It was like a concoction. It was like the way I would do it down and dirty and sloppy back in Dundalk. I would just take a bunch of meat, roll it all together, and just go like I did a cheeseburger.
Bloop,
bloop. Put it down, flip it over, bloop." And it just comes, but it's delicious. I mean, it's a delicious country club slurry, as I would call it. Not too Old Bay forward, more on the sweet side than on the Old Bay or the salty side or the paprika side.
But the fried chicken's to die for.
And I got the fried chicken. I have one of the breasts at home. So I left there to go to Big Truck Farm Brewery.
Okay.
Do you know where that is?
I do not.
It's off of, not Mount Carmel, the Parkton, up higher.
Yeah. Got it.
So I took the back road, and I mean, these aren't really roads, man. It's through, like, Gunpowder Falls that you don't even know exist.
Beautiful.
It was 6.3 miles.
Yep.
And I had some peach ice cream, which was the bomb, by the way. The peach ice cream at Friendly Farm.
There you
go. Winner, peach ice cream dinner.
Excellent.
And I had spent the day at the ice cream plant. I start to sound like Willy Wonka.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
I was at Wise Markets all day.
So you're ice creaming the whole
I went
day.
up to Sunbury, right? Had some barbecue at a place called Skeeters on a hill in Shamokin Dam. One of the beautiful.
There you go.
God, it was beautiful in Sunbury.
Yeah.
This beautiful river and lake runs through it in a bridge, and it's bucolic. You look like you're in Europe. It's
there
beautiful.
You go. Take a picture, make a postcard.
You feel like you're in Austria. Like, really, it was beautiful. So I did the Wise plant. We had just a little cup of ice cream. It wasn't a whole lot.
Yep.
So I'm driving this road, and I've got this peach ice cream, and there's deer and fawns and trees and shade and corn and beauty and farms and houses.
That's
and,
it. That's
and,
Maryland,
and
baby.
Trump signs and Brandons and some Westmores too.
Sure.
But there was a lot. But it was America, man. And the sun was setting, and I was going to a brewery, and I'm on that back road, and I'm like, my God, this is 23 minutes from my home. I've never been on this road. It's so pretty that I need to share it with my audience and with my wife. Take a pretty drive, go from Friendly Farm to Big Truck on the back road.
Yep.
And I've been on every back road, Eastern Shore, Western Maryland, as pretty a road as there is in the state.
Yeah, well, that's
and 5 minutes from where you live.
Right. It's fantastic. I'm telling you, there's beautiful places, and You got to get out there. You got to drive. People that are in Baltimore just hanging out in Baltimore. You know, there's we talk about study. Most people don't leave within 20 miles of their house,
Very
man.
much so.
They just don't. People aren't moved to move.
Somebody told me about a conversation they had. It may have been Brillhart or Mickey Cuccella's coming on. By the way, we're going to be at Costas Inn on Tuesday, celebrating 31 years on the 30th day of the month. Wes Moore will be with us. Pam Wood from the Baltimore Banner will be with us, and Mickey Cuccella will be with us on Tuesday. And they said that somebody from Dundalk said they haven't been over the Essex Bridge in 20 years.
Right.
When I went to Suicide Bridge in Hurlock, okay, this would give you a little bit of, I don't know if this is a right side thing or a left side thing, people dropping out, right? Or just moving away from the city and going somewhere else, right? The woman who waited on me at Suicide Bridge, lovely, had a Baltimore accent, got my Baltimore thing, knew a little bit about my crab cake tour, and treated me right, was very, very sweet to me. But she told me she lives on 40 acres. She doesn't get Wi-Fi so well, so she doesn't communicate so much with the world in that way.
Right.
I asked her how the Wi-Fi was where I was sitting, which I think spurred the conversation. She said, it sucks. And I'm like, okay. So, I mean, this is where I talked to Heather Mazier about broadband over the Eastern Shore, and I talked to Larry Hogan about broadband.
Maybe Elon Musk is going to fix that.
Well,
because yesterday he announced with T-Mobile, did you see this?
What's he doing?
His Starlink satellites are going to join with T-Mobile to expand service so that their service is supposed to going to be amazing. We'll see.
I hope he's right.
But it's going to be last mile broadband. There's some companies out there that do that now as well.
Well, when I drove past these places leaving Friendly Farm, going through northern Baltimore County, I'm like, yeah, my wife works for Verizon. She always tells me, how much footage does it take to get us from here to there, and who's buying it, and
is it worth it?
And you're a businessman, right?
Is it worth it to put the cable or to put the fiber or whatever it is?
Verizon goes out of business doing that at current cost,
That's right.
They do.
That's right.
And their stock takes, if the government made them do it, the stock would plummet.
Yep. These final mile internets are really hard to do. So there are companies specifically out there with satellite and with the technology to get that internet in there. But, yeah, you're saying some people drop out there.
So the girl says to me, she's from Arbutus. She was from South Baltimore, right?
Okay.
She said to me, I haven't been across the bridge in 12 years. And I'm thinking to myself,
my God.
Well, yeah, I'm thinking, to your point, have you been on a plane? Have you been anywhere?
No.
You don't get the internet.
Right.
You know, you're
what
like,
do you know?
Like, yeah.
Who do you think the president is?
Yeah. Right, well, let's start with anything like that. And she was lovely and she was wonderful and all that. But she was really proud of the fact that she hadn't been over the bridge. And I said, is there any chance maybe, you'd want to go see a cousin or a death, a birth, a ball game?
You saw Footloose, didn't you?
No dancing in this town.
No dancing in that town. Man, that's a small town. Where are they going? They're in their small town. They're happy in their small town. It's just wow.
John Mellencamp.
There you go. I can't do it. I got to get out. We
in Westminster.
We had to leave. It's funny we say this. We did the European tour this summer, and we've talked about it.
You went to every Westminster. Right?
We went to lots of Westminsters.
Yeah, sure.
And lots of places that we drove through these places. We went to Randallstown in the UK, and I took a picture.
To Dundalk in Ireland.
I took a picture, and I said, "Oh my God, look at that!" And my wife said, "Well, none of the places in America are original. They've all stolen. They came over. They brought everything with them. So there it is. Everything's here." But we were joking about the fact that we went to Parliament. We went to the UK. We went in London. We went in Ireland, in Northern Ireland, in Scotland, in Edinburgh. We toured all these parliaments.
This kid's a history major and really into all this, so that's why you did it.
But my son has never been to the House or the Senate in D.C.
He lives 38 miles.
That's exactly right. Never been to the White House. Never been to the White House. Never been to the House or the Senate.
Just do it.
And has never been to New York. So here we are. We're in London. We're in Paris, and he's never been to New York. So what does that say? I don't know. We just haven't gotten there. Bad parenting? He's in Columbus. He's in Columbus, so he's happy in Columbus. What can I tell you? Leonard
Raskin's here. We're in Westminster, up in Carroll County. We're at Rocksalt Grille. We're going to have the Rocksalt crab cake. I've already had a delicious. Thank you very much for the PEI oyster. I didn't even have any breakfast. I had coffee this morning. I've had coffee and oysters.
There you go. I had fresh strawberries and cream. I was reliving some Wimbledon.
Attaboy.
But I had good cream great strawberries in a bowl with a real spoon, not in a cardboard box with a wooden spoon.
You know what
Didn't
this
have any
tour's
of
done
that.
to me, Leonard? Let me promote my sponsors. Marshall Weston's going to be here later for the. You don't mind when I promote my sponsors, right? Being one of them.
Hey,
you
that's
think
what
it's
it's
a good
all about.
idea, right?
Absolutely, I love it.
Leonard Raskin, Raskin Global. Goodwill sponsors us, and they got jobs programs as well as our friends at the Maryland Lottery. Lots of folks here are going to be getting these here this afternoon. Rocksalt Grille. We're out on Main Street. It's also brought to you by our friends at Window Nation. When I wear the visor in a dark room, I look like I'm dealing cards, although it's kind of bright in here. But I will wear this in one of the segments later today. We do appreciate our Window Nation friends. Took video this morning out the window. Window Nation put these brand new windows in. I have video on my phone of 3 fawns and the mother outside our bird feeder window
There you go.
feeding this morning. And the windows are so beautiful and crystal
There you go.
clear
There
that my
you go.
video is beautiful.
You can
So
see it.
Thanks
That's
to
what
Window
it's all
Nation.
about.
And Restaurant Week is September 16th to the 25th. Places like Rocksalt Grille, we want you to go out, support them, supporting local places. So, I've done so much, but like we were talking about, you say strawberries and cream.
Yeah.
So you really got me going on this, okay? I was at the ice cream factory at Wise Markets up in Sunbury. I had a scoop of Caribou caramel.
What is that?
It was a chocolate caramel. It was delicious.
Okay.
And then I had a scoop of malt and salt of the earth, which was a chocolate malted ice cream with a caramel, dark chocolate with a caramel as well, but a different kind of swirl thing going on. And they're both available at Wise, premium ice cream. It's delicious. Then I get this peach ice cream, but no offense to Wise or the peach ice cream I got at Friendly Farm. I've had 2 of like my favorite things in the whole world. Legitimate, honest to God, Hawaiian snow ice.
Oh, boy.
So when they take the ice and they snow it all up,
Yeah.
and it's like the size of this hat,
Right.
and they make the big white mound of
And they
it,
put some
right?
juice on it.
Now, you have a place up in Bethany,
Yes.
Fenwick?
Yes.
Fenwick Ice,
Yes.
you've been to.
I know the place. It's not my thing.
Okay, so
I'm on the ice cream. I'm all about the ice
here's
cream.
what you need to do. You need to get a snow cap.
Yeah.
This is what they do. They take like a banana snowball or a strawberry or cherry,
Yep.
and you put the condensed milk on there,
Yep.
and it tastes dreamy and creamy.
I'll do
and
it.
Ice cream.
Going to be down there in a couple weeks.
So-
I will do it, and I will report back on my findings.
I was out in Eldersburg speaking Spang Italian English with Dante Liberatore.
Okay, yeah, sure,
You've been
sure.
to Liberatore's,
Absolutely.
right? So Dante was my high school compatriot. We
Okay.
graduated together high school in
Okay.
1985. So I busted his chops for a good hour and a half at his place on Wednesday. It's 110 degrees. John
Yeah.
Maroon did the show. We had just great conversation about Baltimore, about golf, about Cal Ripken, all on the program. Find it at Baltimore Positive. And I text my wife, and I'm like, the best snowball place in the area that is not a sponsor that I know about. And I did the Crab Cake Tour is a offshoot of my snowball thing about 4 summers ago. I went to every snowball
Oh,
place
my
I could
Lord.
find, trying to find a really
I got it.
good snowball,
I
right?
got it.
And that led to the Crab Cake thing. Icy Delights, Essex, Dundalk, shout out. Yeah, Bill and everybody there, the kids, I love them. I appreciate them. That's East Side.
Yep.
And I go frequently. They're video cameras. I don't promote them. They're not a sponsor, so I don't put up every snowball I eat.
Right.
But I eat a lot of Icy Delight snowballs. I'm out on the west side. The best place is Liberty Road,
Yep.
past Randallstown,
Yep.
right before you get to the reservoir.
Yep.
Down the hill, Hawaiian,
I'm
snow,
with you.
whatever.
I grew up in Randallstown. That's my world. I know the place.
All right, so I'm leaving Eldersburg. My wife's under the weather this week. Get well soon, sweetie. And I said to her, I'm coming home. I could bring you crab cake. I could bring you salad. I could bring you soup. I could bring you anything
Bring
you want.
me ice.
No.
No?
I said, but I can't bring you that. You have to go
Melt
get
it out.
You have to go
right.
get
You got to eat it on site.
So there is no to
it's
go.
water. It's water.
You have to get it. You have to experience it.
And right there.
And I said to the girl, I'm like, do you have a snow cap on that? She's like, no, we have sweet cream. It's the same thing.
Right. Sure.
It's like, it's just a different one, right?
Yeah.
She put it on top of it, started to melt. I got about 3 blocks away, and I'm eating that pineapple and that banana, and I'm like, my life is so very good. You know what I mean? So when you say strawberries and cream,
That's it.
There's a moment where you're just reliving your
That's
Wimbledon
it.
moment.
It's beautiful.
Right? You know?
It's beautiful.
Lets us know we're alive.
But I was not watching tennis, unfortunately. I was watching the release of the FBI Department of Justice affidavit at Trump's Mar-a-Lago.
And what do you make of that?
I haven't heard enough or read enough to know anything about it. I don't make anything about it.
You would agree it's not good to have top secrets like taken somewhere else. You would agree that's probably not a good
No,
idea.
I don't know what it is.
Yeah, that's
I
probably
wouldn't
not a good
agree with anything because I don't know what it is. And he does have the right. The president has the ultimate right to declassify everything he holds. So whether it's classified or not is one man's vision of another man's possessions. Unlike anybody else in the country, he can declassify anything he wants with his statement. So if he does,
nuclear codes.
there's no nuclear code. Stop it.
Right.
Stop it. You and I both would have to agree, no matter how much you hate the man, that the minute he left the White House, they changed the nuclear codes, okay? So whatever he had is nonsense. It's not nuclear codes. They're not looking at nuclear codes, I can assure you.
That's a good point that you would change the combination.
Immediately. When I pull out of my house, the new owners is changing the locks. Biden doesn't want him anywhere near the nuclear codes. He can't have those when he leaves. So whether he had old nuclear codes that were his, who cares? They're not setting off any missiles from Mar-a-Lago, I can assure you.
Well, so for the Ravens, when does your face get into that? When are you fully engaged? Is it 1 o'clock Sunday?
It's when Flacco faces Huntley.
I don't know about that. Now Lamar
says he's going to play. I believe him. We talked about this. I believe he's going to play. I hope he's insured. But the fact of the matter is,
that's the next question at the next press conference.
Right. The fact of the matter is,
the first question Luke's going to ask at the next press conference is, do you have insurance?
Right. Because if you're not contracted, you better be protected. That's one. You got to have one or the other. You got to have one or the other.
Give the Raskin Global speech on that.
Yeah.
Right? Because this is an interesting.
So let's talk about
part
something
for Lamar.
Yeah.
To say like what his options are.
Well, let's talk about some reality. Okay.
Sure.
Forget Lamar for just a minute. We'll go off the path, and I won't mention names because it's very, very sensitive topic and very important. But I had a gentleman in to see me a week ago who's been a client of mine for 25 years. He and his wife, they have 2 kids. The kids are 20 and 18, so the same age as my son. And the last 3 years, he's been fighting really hard against cancer.
Oh, man.
I mean, he's been, you know the deal. He's been fighting the
and
fight.
You never know how it goes, but you want to think the best.
You want to fight.
Right.
And he came into my office last week, and he said to me, if you tell me today, he said, let me tell you something. I met with my doctor, my oncologist this week with my wife. We asked if the process, the treatments I'm taking right now are curative, if we can get by this, if we can win. And they said no. They told him it's just treatment for quality of, or life. It's not even quality of life. It's just for life. And he came into my office and he said, if you tell me right now that I don't have to work another day of my life,
I'm not going to.
As long as my life lasts, I'm not going to fight anymore and I'm not going to work anymore. I'm going to be with my family till it's over. And that's it. And we said,
hardest decision you'll ever make in your life.
Well, hardest decision is to cut the treatments.
Right.
The financial side, the good news is we took care of.
Right.
He's got life insurance. His family will be fine. He's got disability insurance that says if he can't work, he'll be paid. Tax-free money from an insurance company for as long as he lives. No matter if he lives 6 months or 60 years, he'll be paid because he can't work anymore. He's got a provision in his life insurance that says the insurance company will pay the premium on those policies for the rest of his life. He's got a provision in his life insurance that says because he's deemed terminal by his doctors, he can use up to 75% of the death benefit that will be paid eventually to his family for whatever reason or no reason at all. So if he wants to take a trip around the world right now with his family, he can do that tax-free. And it just reduces what they get when he goes. And he's got enough that that's okay. He can do anything he wants and still leave them enough. And we sat together, we held hands, we cried, and I said to him, I'm so sorry. And what he said to me was, I'm so thankful that I have you and that 20 years ago, you made me do these things because I wouldn't have been able to say what I'm going to say I can do because I can do it. And he's not the first that we've had to deal with this situation. He won't be the last. But this is what we're about.
Well,
we're about protecting
you
people.
Bring that up me. I'm 53. I couldn't retire tomorrow.
Right.
As an example.
Right.
You know, I'm still out scrapping, working, doing what I'm doing.
Right, but the point is if you were sick and had to or wanted the option to, and he can't retire based on his wealth.
Right.
He cannot stop working based on how much money he's got.
Okay, he's not that guy.
No.
Okay.
He's going to be able to stop work because of the protection that's in place that guarantees that he'll have enough income and wealth from that for him, for as long as he lives, for his family, for as long as they live.
Peace of mind.
Because we put insurance in place 20, 25 years ago.
Understood.
And then whatever money they have, if they spend some of that in his last days, the life insurance will come in and replace what got spent to his family. So there is no financial worry for him the rest of his life. For the family, he said, I'm going in Monday, and that's it. I'm done.
I just say this, no bad day to talk about this, right?
That's right.
To call Leonard or someone like Leonard, somebody you trust. Or, Raskin Global
so when we're talking,
when
we're talking Lamar,
sure.
The situation is you can go to work, you can play on Sunday, and nothing happens. And it's great. You get your contract a year from now, 6 months from now, whenever it is, and the world's
play with an open mind,
and the world's
right?
great.
Free
but
mind,
what if he's insured for? It doesn't have to be $500 million. Maybe it's $100 million. Whatever the number is that his legs and his body are insured for, that if he then can't throw that ball or run, he can be paid by an insurance company. You know what? He can go out and play, and he doesn't have to be held hostage to a contract.
Dude, I'd love to have you run those numbers and what, and I was thinking about this the other day, and I haven't talked about this with anybody. Every insurance company would say, how big is the risk for a football player? So I don't know what Lloyd's of London puts on this, but how big is the risk for a quarterback who runs into linebackers too? That's different than Joe Flacco.
That's exactly right.
Like, I would look at it and say, I would say, he's got the highest risk there's ever been.
They measure it.
He's a quarterback who runs into linebackers.
Yes.
There's... I don't know race car drivers. I don't know who else would
There's big risk.
Suffer something more catastrophic.
The question is it insurable? And if it is, what's the cost? And then you get to measure that. You get to say, this is the cost. I'm pretty convinced that it's insurable. I've not sold a policy like that.
$1 million, $2 million, it would be a lot of money.
Oh, yeah. Well, I'll tell you how big.
It's not a $200,000 policy.
No, I'll tell you how big. So big that a guy named Magic Johnson, way back in the day, I don't know, 30 years ago, 25 years ago, found out he was HIV positive applying for insurance. And had to give blood tests and medical exams and was applying for insurance and couldn't get it because of this thing that was AIDS before it was anything that was treatable. And he's beaten that system.
Right.
And with his money and his ability...
He couldn't buy insurance, right.
He couldn't buy insurance.
Right.
Because he's got this health condition. But he also, with his money and his ability... was able to push forward research.
Right now couldn't buy insurance right now either.
No, not at all. Yeah. Impossible.
Leonard's here. We are here. We're at Rocksalt Grille. We're going to have crab cakes. It's all brought to you by the Maryland Lottery, our friends at Window Nation, as well as Goodwill. I saw Marshall Weston walk in from the Restaurant Association of Maryland. Leonard will be a big participant because you save money. And, you save money restaurant week. You get a good deal.
Got to eat. Right? Got to get good stuff. I'm all for it.
Showing off.
Yeah.
One of the things about this,
I like going to places I haven't been.
Exactly.
That's the whole point.
Where I've been this month. So if you're at Baltimore Positive, you follow the Crab Cake Tour, follow the brewery tour. I've been a little slow to get every single thing up on the dates, but I'm going to be back after that next week as my wife and I, hopefully, she gets a little better and we get off for a little bit of a vacation around Labor Day before football season starts. But football for you, kicking in, are you... Where are you if you're not a gambler, but if you were, you had $1 to put on or against the Ravens playoffs or not, are you optimistic?
I'm in. Look, I have clients who are gamblers. I had a guy come to me in opening day, Orioles, April?
Okay.
March. Came to me in March, and he said, over-under on the O's, 63 wins. What do you think? I said, I'll take the over on that.
Right on.
So, he did a little wager because he's that kind of guy. He came, I saw him just a couple weeks ago, 500. He said, I bet $500. It's a 2 to 1.
Right.
So 63 was the over-under. When they had won 58, he was very confident. And so he won $500 on the over-under. So if I had a buck and I had to put that buck on Ravens playoffs or not, I would definitely take yes.
Okay. Well,
yeah, I would take yes.
You wouldn't get even money on that.
No, you don't think?
No, I don't think you get. What? That's a good.
You think it's better than even money?
Once I get a gambling sponsor and I get a sports book, those are the kinds of
things well, that's it. I don't know the number, but my guess
I'm not a gambler, right?
My guess is we're better than even money. I can't believe it's 2 to 1. I can't believe that. There's got to be
to make the playoffs.
There's got to be better odds than that. You think it's longer odds?
No. I think $1 would get you 80 cents.
Yeah, I don't think it's 2 to 1. That's what I'm saying.
$1 would get you 80 cents.
Yeah, I think it's a pretty safe bet. That's my point.
Well, I don't know any. Again, and some gamblers listening right now, like
somebody can tell us these idiots don't know what they're talking about.
Just hit your app on your phone.
Right. You put in $2, you're lucky to get back $1.
Well, I'll tell you what. I tell my friends at Maryland Lottery. I had John on. He was talking about record numbers for the lottery this year.
Yeah.
$1.6 billion for the state coffers. Where the money goes.
Where does it go?
General fund.
Yeah,
General
I get
fund.
it. I get it.
So, well, that's the answer, right?
Let's sell more and cut taxes.
The one thing that we definitely have access to this year that's so unique, you've been to Vegas before.
Sure.
Is this fact that these places around,
they're
going to kill it. It's going to be fun for people. They're not going to have to go to Vegas.
Yep.
I encourage everybody, obviously, gamble responsibly in doing that. But I get a lot of friends that were betting pool cards and this and that and on apps or whatever who love the Vegas experience.
Yeah.
That's a nice thing for
Absolutely. We're going to open them
hey,
local.
Why don't we all get together and get a little booth at the casino, watch the games?
I'm with you.
Or the Ravens
on the giant screen, and that's right.
When the Ravens play on a Monday night, hey,
that's
let's
right.
go on a Sunday. And
that's right. Let's see the games.
We can't go to Vegas. We always like going
go to the sports book.
Let's go, man.
See, I watch these guys on the and what's stunning now, of course, to me the most stunning thing is when I'm watching a baseball game and during the game, the announcers are popping out the odds on the next three batters' chance to get on base or whatever, plus 225 that Hayes will get a hit or whatever it is. And I'm thinking, Pete Rose is not in the Hall of Fame because he gambled on baseball.
It's insane,
what the heck is going on here?
Weird, right?
It is really strange. I mean, people are betting on everything.
Well, that's what they were hoping.
Everything.
I've never known anybody who bet on baseball in my life. I grew up in a baseball family in a baseball neighborhood with baseball people. The most degenerate horse players, pool card junkies.
They're betting on everything.
All the kids in the neighborhood, March Madness, whatever. No one ever said to me, "Hey, you want to bet on or against the Flanagan tonight or on Palmer tonight?"
The plus minus is 7.
Even when I went to Vegas, I'd look up on the board and the Orioles be playing the Red Sox some hot day in June back in the day, and I'd look up and I'd be like, I don't know if Scott Erickson's going to be any good tonight
That's
or not.
Right.
Why the hell would I bet on that?
The over-under. The over-under is 7.5.
I go here and play blackjack and have pretty girls serve me drinks.
That's right.
You know what?
That's right.
What am I doing playing that? So even though I knew sports, and this was always like sort of a challenge of being the sports guy, was you know so much you should be able to bet on it. I remember Marvin Lewis saying to me,
all crap and
first
stance.
Year, those bad teams we had, the 4 and 12 teams. Marvin and I had a brown bag lunch every Friday. Or I would bring lunch in for him and Jimmy Schwartz because Jimmy was his assistant. We would sit in a room half the size of this with the film drop down, the literal Bell and House screen, right? And Marvin had his little red pointer. And at one point, the little things you remember when you spend time with somebody 30 years later, right?
Yeah.
The ball bounced, and I don't know, Steve On Moore, and the ball squibbled out of bounds or whatever. And Marvin stopped and he looked at me, and I always saw him through the light of the projector. So it was always that sort of weird thing. He looks at me, and Marvin's got that big smile. Marvin's like, I don't know how people bet on this.
That's exactly it.
That's what he said. He said,
it's crazy.
I don't know what's going to happen. How do people bet on
Nobody
this?
knows. You know what? And you know what's so freaky when you say that? How those odds and those spreads are so tight. You watch a game. I'll watch a game on Sunday. I'll watch a game on Sunday, and it's whoever, Rams minus 4.5, and they lose by 4 or 5, and it's like,
well, they built the whole city in the desert based on this. They swore that they would never have a sports franchise.
That's right.
And now it's the epicenter
of all of it. It's crazy.
Of all things independent and wonderful about this country.
There you go.
Say, right?
America, capitalism, and free markets, and the right to blow your money stupidly if you so choose. Go gamble it away. Then when you have real money and you want to talk about what to do with it, you come see me.
I'm telling you, don't need to be rich to have a great time, because for $4.50 you can get a snow-capped Hawaiians and feel like a king, like you have Crab Imperial on this tour. Leonard Raskin is Raskin Global. He manages money. He's my friend, even though he's on the other side of that. People think I don't have any Republican friends, and I'm like, what's wrong with you?
Right.
I just don't argue with them.
That's right. It's not
on
worth
the internet or
it's
even
not worth
personally.
the time.
I know you're wrong.
Yeah,
I know I'm wrong.
I know, right. And you know what? Neither of us are going to change the other's mind.
Did you say right? Because I'm left.
Yeah, there you go.
Right.
And it doesn't even matter, because at the end of the day, you're going to vote. I'm going to vote. Who cares? So what?
It's all brought to you by our friends at Goodwill, our friends at Wise Markets and Wise Conversations, giving me great ice cream and a beautiful tour up in Pennsylvania that you will be able to see by like next week, because I'm a one-man band at this point, and Chloe's back at school. Our friends at Window Nation providing windows so beautiful that the video of the bluebirds, blue jays, red cardinals, yellow finches that we have out in our woods look even more beautiful. Thanks to Window Nation for supporting us. And, of course, the Maryland Lottery. I have several show me. I'm going to give everybody around here within earshot of my voice. If you can hear me, I owe you a lottery ticket. Yell at me in about 2 minutes and 2 seconds.
There we go.
Chuck Woolery. There's a right guy.
That's right. 2
Two
and 2.
2 and 2.
Back at 2
show
and
me
2.
10,000. We're going to have the Raven scratch off soon. John Martin's been on twice this week. And Marshall Weston's going to join us in our next segment to talk about business, small business, crab cakes, burgers. I'm going to tell him stories of all of these restaurants that I've weaved my way into in the Restaurant Association of Maryland. And I have a couple of beefs he doesn't know about. I'm going to, just to show you we're still doing real journalism around here.
That's right.
I have two things that happened on the tour that irked the Dundalk in me.
There you go.
Sort of razzled the cheapskate in me. And to say, why? Why are restaurants doing this in 2022? So I'm going to do that with Marshall Weston. Appreciate you, man. Love you.
Pleasure.
Appreciate you. You're going to get a crab cake here? You
Absolutely.
have not had the crab cake here, right?
I have not. I've had lots of great food
High
here.
expectations, though.
I do, because I've heard they're phenomenal.
All right. Well, Lee and Susan are going to be here a little later on. I'm getting thumbs up from people in the studio audience saying great crab cakes are over here waiting for it. I'm Nestor. We're doing the Maryland Crab Cake Tour all over the state. Today happens to be day 26. I'm going to be at Pharmacy Brewery. I want to give the whole lowdown of every place we're going here. Saturday, I'm going to be at Stony Creek in Riviera Beach. Very highly recommended crab cake. Looks delicious. We're going to be at Manor Hill Brewing. Sunday, we're doing a double dose. My wife took ill at the Manor Tavern. Sorry, Jerry Edwards. I love you. We're coming back on Sunday night to Manor Tavern. We're going to Inverness, where I hear it's beautiful. My wife missed out on Big Truck. She missed out on Friendly Farms, so I got to take her back.
There you go.
All good for me on the
What a
family
shame.
style.
What a shame.
That apple butter and the French fries, delicious. So we're going to be Sunday at Scoozy's in Dundalk, Key Brewing in Dundalk. We're going to be at Manor Tavern and Inverness. Monday, I'm getting toward the end of the tour. I have a mystery Monday crab cake with an old friend, and I'm not going to talk. It's not Mike Tomlin this time. And we are going to Ardor Brewing on Monday night, and then Tuesday, big day, Costas Inn, celebrating 31 years on the 30th of the month. Wes Moore is our guest. Baltimore Banner Pam Wood, who covers all things elections, all things State House. She was at the Biden rally the other night. Lots of things to talk about with her. And then we're going to have Mickey Coachella on because I need to work blue at the end. I told Mickey, can you keep it clean? Oh, come on, man. I was on 98 Rock, man.
Right.
That's my show, man. I can keep it clean. I work family. I'm a family guy.
Uh-huh.
So Mickey, and I like Mickey because he's shorter than me.
There you go.
So I'm going to stand him on this. I'll bust him. So it's going to be a great end of the tour. Thank you for supporting us.
Pleasure.
I appreciate that. A drive out to Westminster for Leonard Raskin. You can find him on the interwebs at raskinglobal.com to follow the American dream.
Absolutely.
I'm living the American dream. Crab Cake 31, Brewery 36 today. I am Nestor. We are WNST, AM 1570, Towson, Baltimore. The truck, they're going to put me in this thing, carry me around the Beltway before this thing's all over with once football season started. Baltimore Positive. Stay with us from Rocksalt Grille. We are in the friendly heart of Carroll County and Westminster. Stay with us.